It started with a video. Not a news report, not a police statement, just a shaky phone recording uploaded late at night and buried somewhere on the internet. At first, nobody paid attention to it, but within 48 hours, it was everywhere. Millions of views, thousands of comments, and one question no one could answer. Why was a wild wolf digging up a grave? The footage begins in near darkness. A cemetery on the edge of a small American town lies silent under a flickering streetlight. The person filming is breathing heavily, nervous, afraid. You hear a whisper. It's still here. It hasn't moved. Then the camera shifts, and that's when you see it. A wolf stands beside a freshly covered grave. It is not pacing or searching. It is simply watching. Its body is tense but not aggressive, its head slightly lowered, its eyes fixed on something we cannot see, or maybe something we are not meant to see. Then suddenly it starts digging, not randomly, not like an animal chasing a scent. Every movement is precise, focused, deliberate. Dirt flies as its paws tear into the ground with unnatural urgency. The person filming gasps, asking what is it doing, but no one answers because no one knows. The video cuts and resumes from another angle. More people have arrived. Voices fill the air, confused and panicked, some whispering, some yelling to stay back, but no one gets too close. Something about this feels wrong. The wolf does not react to them, not when someone throws a rock, not when a man shouts, not when headlights flood the cemetery in harsh white light. It just keeps digging. Then, without warning, it stops completely. Silence takes over. The wolf slowly lifts its head and for the first time looks directly at the people, at the camera, at us. There is something wrong with its eyes. Not glowing, not obviously supernatural, but aware, too aware, as if it understands, as if it knows something we don't. Then it steps back, slowly, almost respectfully, as if it has finished something important. It turns and walks away into the darkness. No panic, no fear, just gone. The video ends there, but that was not what terrified people. It was what happened next, because the grave the wolf had just dug into did not belong to a stranger. It belonged to Emily Carter, 32 years old, a nurse, a daughter, a mother. According to everyone who knew her, she was perfectly normal. She had been buried just 3 days earlier. Closed casket, sudden death, official cause, cardiac arrest. Simple, clean, final. Or at least that is what everyone believed. By morning, the cemetery was surrounded by police tape and flashing lights. Onlookers gathered at a distance, whispering, recording, speculating, and at the center of it all was that same grave, now torn open. Standing just outside the perimeter was a man who had not slept. His name was Daniel Carter, Emily's son. He stared at the grave without blinking, as if to tell him something. Quietly, almost to himself, he said she told him something wasn't right. No one heard him, or maybe no one wanted to, because deep down, everyone was starting to feel it. This wasn't about a wild animal, and whatever had happened was far from over.
Before I continue, write in the comments where you're watching me from, your city or country. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like if this story touches you.
Daniel didn't believe in coincidences. Not anymore. Standing just outside the police tape, staring at the torn earth of his mother's grave, he felt something shift inside him. Not grief. That had already settled deep, heavy, and silent. This was something else. Doubt. Because the truth was, Emily Carter had been acting strange long before she died. And now, every small detail he had ignored was coming back. Clearer. louder. Wrong. 3 weeks before her death, Emily called him late at night. That alone wasn't unusual, they talked often, but something in her voice that night was different. Tense. Distracted. She kept pausing, like she was listening to something on the other end of the line. "Mom?" Daniel asked. "Are you okay?" There was a long silence. Then she said quietly, "Do you ever feel like something is watching you even when you're alone?" He laughed it off, told her she was just tired. She worked long shifts at the hospital. It made sense, but she didn't laugh back. Over the next few days, things escalated. She started locking her doors earlier, closing all the curtains before sunset, keeping lights on even when she slept. When Daniel visited, the house felt different, too quiet, too still, like something had already happened there, even though nothing had. "Mom, what's going on?" he asked. She hesitated, then said something he would never forget. "I keep hearing something outside." "What kind of something?" She looked toward the window. "Scratching." At the time, it didn't sound like much. Animals, branches, wind. That's what he told himself. That's what he told her. But now, standing in a cemetery, thinking about a wolf that refused to leave her grave, it didn't feel so simple anymore. The police finished their inspection quickly, too quickly. "Grave disturbance, possibly an animal. We're investigating." Clean. Controlled. Daniel hated how clean it sounded, because nothing about this felt clean. That afternoon, he went back to her house, alone. The moment he stepped inside, he felt it again. That same silence. Heavy. Watching. He closed the door slowly, locked it, then stood still, listening. Nothing. The house looked untouched, her coat still hanging by the door, a mug on the counter, half full, cold, like she had just stepped away. He walked through each room, bedroom, bathroom, living room, everything normal, too normal, until he reached the back door. There, just beneath the handle, were marks. Deep, long, scratches. Not random, not shallow. Something had tried to get in, or out. Daniel knelt down, running his fingers over the grooves. They were fresh, or had been. No one mentioned this, not the police, not anyone. Then he saw it. The camera, mounted above the door. He rushed inside, turned on the system, scrolled through the footage. Day after day. Nothing. 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 Then one night, the footage glitched. Static. Distortion. A sudden drop. And in the middle of it, a shape. Low. Moving. Daniel froze the frame. Zoomed in. His heart started pounding. A wolf. But not outside. It was standing at the door. Then it looked up, directly into the camera. The screen went black. Daniel stepped back slowly. This wasn't just an animal. And suddenly, her words came back. "If you see the wolf, don't run." But she never said why, and now it was too late to ask. Or maybe it wasn't. Because somewhere out there, in the woods beyond the town, something was still watching. Daniel didn't sleep that night. He tried. He lay in his bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying everything in his head. The video, the grave, the scratches, the camera footage. But every time he closed his eyes, he saw it. The wolf, looking straight at him, not like an animal, like something that understood. By 3:17 a.m., he gave up. He got dressed, grabbed his keys, and left the house. He didn't fully know where he was going, but deep down, he did. The forest, it surrounded the town like a wall, dense, old, untouched. People didn't go there at night, not officially, not even hunters. Daniel parked near the edge of the trees. The engine ticked softly as it cooled. For a moment, he just sat there, hands on the wheel, breathing, listening. Nothing. Too quiet. Then he stepped out. The air was colder than it should have been. Not winter cold, not night cold. Something else. The kind of cold that doesn't just touch your skin, but settles inside your chest. He turned on his flashlight. The beam cut through darkness, roots, branches, uneven ground, and then tracks. He froze. There they were, clear, fresh, wolf tracks, leading into the forest. Every instinct told him to go back, get in the car, forget everything. But then, his mother, her voice, her fear. If you see the wolf, don't run. So he stepped forward, one step, then another. The deeper he went, the quieter it became. No wind, no insects, no distant town sounds, just silence, heavy, pressing, like the forest was watching. Minutes passed, or longer. Time didn't feel right anymore. Then, a sound. Soft. Ahead. Daniel stopped, turned off the flashlight. The darkness swallowed everything. Then, he saw it. Two eyes, watching from the trees. The wolf. Still. Silent. Waiting. His heart pounded. Every instinct screamed, run. But he didn't. Slowly, carefully, he stepped forward. The wolf turned and began to walk, not away, deeper, into the forest. Then it stopped, looked back, checking if he would follow. Daniel swallowed and followed. The path grew rough, steeper. Branches scratched him, roots caught his feet, but he kept going, because now he knew. This wasn't random. The wolf was leading him. Then they reached it. A clearing. Small. Hidden. At the center, something stood. Daniel stepped closer. His breath caught. A structure. Old. Wooden. Broken. But that wasn't the worst part. The symbols. Carved. Burned. Ancient. Wrong. Like they weren't meant to be seen. The wolf stayed at the edge, watching. Daniel stepped forward, slower now, heavier. Then he saw it. Footprints. Human. Barefoot. Leading inside. His chest tightened, because he knew who they belonged to. Then, inside, something moved. A shadow. And for a moment, a voice. Soft. Familiar. Daniel? He froze, because that voice was his mother's. Daniel couldn't move. Not forward, not back. His body froze where he stood, as if the forest itself had wrapped around him and refused to let go. That voice, it wasn't just similar, it was exact. The same softness, the same tone, the same way she used to say his name. Daniel. It came again, from inside the structure. Quiet, like a whisper carried through wood and air. His heart slammed against his chest. This wasn't possible. It couldn't be. But the footprints were real. The voice was real. And the wolf was still watching. Daniel slowly turned his head. The animal stood at the edge of the clearing, unmoving, eyes locked on him, waiting, not warning him, not stopping him, letting him choose. Daniel swallowed, then stepped forward. The structure creaked softly. Up close, it looked older. The wood was dark, almost black, burned but not destroyed. The symbols were deeper than he thought, layered, repeated, overlapping. He reached out his hand, hesitated, then touched it. The moment his fingers brushed the wood, he felt it. A pulse, not electricity, not heat, something deeper, like touching something alive. He pulled his hand back, breathing faster. Daniel. Closer now, from inside. The door hung open, just enough. Darkness beyond it. No light, no movement. But something was there. He knew it. Every instinct screamed, run, leave, forget everything. But he didn't, because this wasn't fear anymore. This was need. He stepped inside. The air changed instantly. Heavier, colder, thicker. Then the smell. Damp wood, earth, something metallic. He raised his flashlight. The beam flickered, then steadied. The space was small, too small. Walls covered in symbols, floor uneven, and in the center, something moved. His breath caught. He lifted the light, slowly, and then he saw her, or something that looked like her, a figure, still, silent. Her hair, her shape, her posture. Emily. Mom? Barely a whisper. No response, no movement. Then her head tilted, slowly, too slowly. Wrong. And when she stepped forward, everything inside him went cold. Her movements lagged, disconnected, like something else was guiding her. Daniel. Her voice now, but not right. Echoing, layered, two voices at once. One hers, one not. Daniel stepped back. Mom, what is this? She moved closer. I couldn't leave. The words stretched. They wouldn't let me. The light flickered. For a moment, her face changed, just enough. Eyes darker. Too dark. Daniel's chest tightened. Who? But he already knew. This wasn't just her anymore. She stopped in front of him. Close, too close. Then she reached out, her hand shaking, almost human, almost normal. Come with me, barely formed. Stay. The light flickered violently. Daniel stepped back. No. For the first time, fear took over. Real fear, pure instinct. Something was wrong. Then the wolf growled. Outside, loud, sharp. The sound cut through everything. She froze, completely. Her face changed. Fear. Not his. Hers. Don't. Now her voice. Clear. Terrified. Daniel, don't stay. The light died. Darkness swallowed everything, and in that darkness, something moved. Not her, something else. Closer, faster. Daniel turned and ran, out into the cold night air. The wolf stood in front of him, blocking the path. For a second, he thought it would attack, but it didn't. It just stared, then turned toward the forest and walked again, leading him away from whatever was inside. Daniel looked back once. The structure stood still, silent. But in the doorway, for a split second, something moved. Watching. Not his mother. Something else. Waiting. Daniel didn't stop running until the trees began to thin. Branches snapped under his feet. His breath burned in his chest. His heart pounded so hard it drowned everything else. And yet, he could still feel it. The wolf. Not behind him, not chasing, guiding. When he finally slowed, something felt wrong. He wasn't lost. He knew exactly where he was. The edge of the forest, the same place where he had entered, but he didn't remember the way back. He turned. The forest stood silent, dark, unmoving, like nothing had happened, but something had. His hands were still shaking, and his mind was trying to catch up. His mother, or something wearing her, and that voice, they wouldn't let me leave. Daniel swallowed. Who were they? The next morning, the town felt different. It always had, but now people were talking, not quietly, not carefully, loud, speculating. Some said it was fake, others said it was just an animal, but a few, just a few, said something else, something older. Daniel found one of them, Margaret Hale. She lived on the far side of town, a small house, too close to the trees. People called her strange. Daniel didn't care. He knocked. The door opened instantly. She was already there, waiting. I was wondering when you'd come. Daniel froze. You know about me? No answer. She stepped aside, let him in. The house smelled like herbs, old wood, something burned. Sit, she said. He didn't. I saw her. Margaret looked at him, not surprised, not confused, just sad. No, she said. You didn't. Daniel clenched his jaw. That was my mother. She shook her head slowly. That's what's left of her. Silence. Heavy. What does that mean? Margaret walked to a shelf, pulled down a notebook, old, worn, used. She opened it. Symbols. The same ones. Daniel froze. You've seen these. He nodded. In the forest. She closed a book. That place doesn't belong here. It was here long before us. A chill ran through him. What is it? She hesitated. Then, it's not a place. She looked him in the eyes. It's a door. Daniel didn't speak, because he understood. And the wolf? Her expression softened. Not everything in that forest wants to harm you. He doesn't belong to it. Then what is he? Her voice dropped. A guardian. Daniel's heart skipped. Guardian of what? She paused, then whispered. Of the ones who don't come back right. The room felt colder. He thought about her. Her voice. Her eyes. That smile. Wrong. She was taken, wasn't she? No answer. That was enough. They cross over, but not always by choice. Anger rose in his chest. Then bring her back. She stepped closer. You don't understand. I don't care. That's my mother. No, she said firmly. That's what's wearing her face. Silence. Daniel looked down, hands clenched. So what do I do? You listen to the wolf. He looked up, confused. It's trying to help you. It already saved you. He remembered. The growl. The moment everything changed. What if I go back? She didn't answer. Then, next time, it might not let you leave. The words stayed in the air, and for the first time, Daniel understood. This wasn't about finding her. This was something bigger, older, something that had been waiting long before him, and now it knew him. That night, the wolf returned, not to the grave, not to the forest, to him, standing at the edge of his yard, watching, waiting, and this time, Daniel didn't hesitate. He stepped forward. Daniel didn't call out to the wolf. He didn't move suddenly, didn't reach for anything. He just stepped forward, slowly, carefully. The wolf stood at the edge of the yard, half hidden in shadow. The porch light barely touched its fur, most of its body swallowed by darkness, but its eyes were clear, focused, waiting. For a moment, neither of them moved. Then the wolf turned and began to walk, not into the street, not away from the town, back toward the forest. This time, Daniel didn't hesitate. He followed. The night felt different now, heavier, closer, like the space between things had shrunk. Every sound felt louder, every shadow deeper. And yet, the path felt familiar, not because he remembered it, but because something inside him did. They reached the trees quickly, too quickly. Daniel glanced back. The town looked distant, smaller than it should have. Then he stepped into the forest. The cold hit instantly. Not normal cold, something deeper. It slipped under his skin and settled in his chest. But this time, he didn't stop. The wolf moved ahead, silent, smooth, never too far, never too close, like it was guiding him through something unseen. Time passed, minutes, or hours. It didn't feel real anymore. Then they reached the clearing. Daniel stopped. Something was wrong. The structure was gone. No. He stepped forward, faster now, looking around. Nothing. No wood, no symbols, no doorway, just empty ground, like it had never been there. This isn't right. The wolf didn't react. It kept walking, past the clearing, into the deeper trees. Daniel hesitated, then followed again. The forest changed. The trees grew closer, taller, darker. The air thickened. And then he saw it. Light, faint, pale, not from above, from ahead, like something glowing through fog. Daniel slowed. Every instinct said stop, turn back. But he didn't, because now he understood. The first time, he was led to the door. This time, he was being taken through it. The wolf stopped, at the edge of something. Daniel stepped beside it, and then he saw. The forest was gone, or wrong. Twisted trees, bent shapes, ground shifting, almost breathing. The air felt alive. This isn't... He couldn't finish. There were no words. This wasn't a place. This was something else. Then he heard it. Whispers, soft, layered, all around him. Voices overlapping, impossible to separate. Some crying, some calling, some laughing. Daniel covered his ears. It didn't help. The sound wasn't outside. It was inside. Then he heard her. Daniel. Clear. Closer. Right in front of him. He looked up, and she was there. Emily. But different. Almost normal. Eyes clear. Face soft. Relief hit him. Mom. He stepped forward. The wolf growled. Low. Morning. Daniel froze, but she stepped closer, smiling. "It's okay." Her voice was warm. "I'm okay now." Daniel shook his head. "You're not. This isn't. I was scared before, but not anymore." She reached out. "Come here." The world shifted. The whispers grew louder, closer, hungry. Daniel looked at her eyes, and for a moment he almost believed. Almost. Then he saw it, her shadow. Wrong. Out of sync. A second too late. A second too slow. And in that second, he understood. "Mom?" Her smile didn't change, but something behind it did. "You have to come," she said again. Now her voice layered. Many voices, not one. The wolf stepped forward, between them, blocking her. She froze. Her face flickered. For a moment, something else looked out. Anger. Then she screamed. Not human. The sound ripped through everything. The ground shook. Trees bent. Air twisted. Then everything collapsed. Darkness. Silence. Cold. Daniel hit the ground. Hard. Air gone. When he opened his eyes, he was back. The normal forest. The clearing. The night. The wolf stood over him, still, watching. He tried to sit up, shaking, breathing hard. That wasn't her. The wolf didn't move, but now Daniel understood. It never led him to her. It was protecting him from what was wearing her face. And now, that thing knew. He understood, which meant one thing. It wouldn't hide anymore. Daniel didn't speak on the way back. He didn't look at the wolf, didn't question what had happened, because now he understood. The thing in the forest wasn't trying to bring his mother back. It never was. It was trying to keep him there. The town looked the same. Lights on, cars passing, people living their lives, like nothing had changed. But Daniel knew better, because something had changed. Him. That night, he didn't go inside. He stayed on the porch, sitting, watching the tree line, waiting. The wolf stood there, at the edge of the yard, like always, silent, still. But now, it felt different, closer, connected. "Why me?" Daniel asked. No answer, of course not, but something inside him shifted, like a memory that wasn't his, a feeling, familiar. Then he remembered. A long time ago, his mother took him into the forest, not far, just enough, a clearing. She told him, "If you ever feel lost, listen." He never understood, until now. Daniel stood up slowly, his heart steady, clear. "You knew," he whispered, not to the wolf, to her, because now it made sense. The fear, the warnings, the change. She wasn't afraid of something outside. She was afraid of being taken. Daniel looked at the wolf again, and for the first time, he didn't see an animal. He saw something older, something ancient, watching, guarding. Then he stepped forward. The wolf didn't move. It didn't need to, because this time, Daniel already knew. The forest welcomed him again, cold, silent, heavy, but not hostile, aware. The clearing appeared quickly, and the structure was back, waiting. Daniel stopped, took a breath, then walked forward. The symbols felt deeper now, sharper, alive. The door stood open, darkness inside. He stepped in, no hesitation, no fear. The air closed around him, but he didn't resist. Then she appeared, Emily. Not broken, not wrong, just her. Tears filled his eyes. "Mom," she smiled, soft, real. "You came back." Her voice was hers. "I thought I lost you." "You almost did." Silence, heavy. "Is it over?" She looked at him, long, carefully. "It never is." The space shifted. The air moved. "Then what is this place?" A crossing. Daniel felt it. Cold. "And you?" She looked down, then back. "I didn't come back the way you think." The truth settled. Slow. Heavy. "You're not alive." No answer. He already knew. "I can't leave you." "You have to." Her voice broke. "Daniel, listen." The whispers returned, closer. "They know you're here." "Who?" She looked behind him. Fear, real fear. "Go." The wolf growled, closer now. Daniel turned and saw them. Shapes, moving. Not human, not animal. Something else, watching, waiting. "They don't want you to leave." "What about you?" She smiled, soft, sad. "I was never meant to." And then she stepped back, into the dark. "Run." This time he did. He ran, out of the structure, into the night. The wolf ran beside him, fast, silent. They didn't stop until the forest ended. Daniel fell to his knees, breathing hard, shaking. The wolf stood beside him, still. Behind them, the forest was silent, like nothing had happened. Daniel looked up. The wolf met his eyes, and now he understood. It never led him to her. It protected him from what stayed behind. Days passed, weeks. The town moved on. People forgot, or pretended to, but Daniel didn't, because every night, at the edge of the forest, the wolf still stands, watching, guarding, and sometimes, just for a second, in the darkness, he sees her, not lost, not trapped, just waiting. And deep in the forest, something else is still watching. The end.